everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Mystic Messenger. So we've got a new chat room open called The Roots of Pathetic with Jahi, and then a story mode, which I think we're going to be a part of. Hooray! Jahi, have you heard anything about the hacker? Jahi, how's your work going? How's the hacker? It's you. About the hacker, I do know that he's been inactive for hours now. Said the report from the intelligence unit. As for the unit, I couldn't wish for anything else. If we could work in joint with Seven and get results that exceed our expectations very soon, are you safe? By results, do you also mean getting the hacker in your hands? So you mean that you won't need the unit anymore once this trouble with the hacker is all taken care of? By the results, do you also mean getting the hacker in your hands? That would be a gigantic accomplishment, if that's possible. And in that case, I'd get enough time to find someone else for the head of the unit. Sir? Assistant Kang. Are you off duty now? Welcome, Juman. Are you done with your stitching? It's you. And no, I still have a long way to go. However, I realized something while stitching, so I took the chance to log in. Perhaps I've found the basis for our next business. Is that true? Do give me more details. I'll take a screenshot for notes. Someone once said that a repetitive activity would put the part of your brain that is most constantly used to rest, and instead require your usually forgotten cerebral portion to take action. I've been repeating this hobby of mine with threads and needles. And as a result, my cerebral part that has remained dormant has awakened. What did you think of it? And I have come to ponder about a particular subcomposition of human beings. A particular subcomposition of human beings? That's very philosophical for you. The CNR business is an intimate relation with the life of the public, so I would like to emphasize the importance of this awakening and planning that ensues. Understood. Exactly how would you apply your realization to business? There's no point in your realization. I'm sure it's nothing but how... No. Business is run by several people in a joint task. So, realization of individual human beings is worthy of actual application in business. So on what part of human beings did you find awakening? It's about what Zen and Yusung talked about. The origin of human lameness. I want to know what it is. Jahi, I think some things are wrong with Juman these days. I don't really want to know. I want to know what it is. Do you mean it? Curiosity is what opens a pathway to new discovery. Sir, just a moment. Is there a problem? You've started stitching. And you've started giving alarming pieces of advice since a few days ago. Alarming? Allow me to correct it as unexpected pieces of advice. Anyhow, I'm a little concerned that the public would get the wrong idea about you. About the best candidate for the next CEO of CNR, due to your recent activities. But I don't think you look bad the way you do now. She's right, you used to carry more weight with you. I'm starting to worry about the future of CNR. I did. Did you just admit it? I accept your advice, Mila, as well as yours, Assistant Kang. Just like that? My vocabulary wasn't the most appropriate one back there. Let's say I pondered upon the origin of human insecurity. Human insecurity? That's deep. What about insecurity? Do you think someone without a sense of insecurity exists? What about insecurity? I have given deep thoughts about it. Insecurity is something that I would never get to experience, not even in my dreams. But why is it that I can find more than a plenty of cases in other people? Is it actually because I was born with? But then, those born from financially and socially accomplished families should not be suffering from a sense of insecurity. That is not the case, though. You're right. I wonder why is such a phenomenon. Oh, I just said something on my own. Hold up. Shh. I need to read what apparently I said. Maybe they feel insecure because they feel inferior to others. You know, they might be worried they're not as good as others. This is the first time that that's ever happened. Since when do I just say things without getting an option? This is the first time that she has had a thought of her own. I'm so proud of her. Good for you. Yes, but such a concern never occurs to me. Sure enough. That's what I've found bizarre. I think that's exactly what I find bizarre about you. I'm not sure it's because of their family environment. Maybe it's because of their personalities. I'm sure it's because of their family environment. I could hardly tell a difference between such people's family environment and school environment. Because they were homeschooled? When I was young, I was taught by scores of professors from afar across the sea. So my family environment was no different from my school environment. And largely due to my education, ever since I was a child, I never had a problem calculating my perfections and imperfections into actual digits. And my choice was the most crucial factor in perfecting my imperfections. No one ever forced me in any way. That was the business lesson that I've gone through. I see. I knew it. You had a high education, so you were basically running a business of yourself since childhood. Is it actually possible to educate someone without force? You understood right away. Most excellent. You're talking about that education that you got on the island, aren't you? Yes, ever since I was young. I was given the freedom of growth in that place, and my tutors never drew any line for me between the right and wrong. Instead, they directed my attention towards historical facts where right and wrong were determined by the timing and the public's ideology. They actually taught that to you when you were young? Yes. Did they teach that nothing is right or wrong? Wouldn't that create problems adapting to the world? Nothing is truly wrong in this world. You actually understood that? Let's get the first one. Socially right and personally right are different. If they're always identical, there'd be no need to revise laws. You've got a point. Due to years of my education, it's so natural for me to embrace my perfections and imperfections as they are. Do you actually have an imperfection in the first place? I think accepting even my imperfections is something really big. You can, with an innocent mind. You're not saying that you're innocent, are you? People, however, would label their imperfections as either a trouble to get rid of or a shame to hide, and do either one of the two. That's because they might suffer disadvantages if they show their imperfections, so that's why people are tormented by their own inferiority and insecurity. That's right. People struggle to make a gap between their current situations and their dream situations look like it's no more, which is why they grow strict with themselves and rid their own leisure, as well as time to have a small hobby like stitching. It's because almost no one ever criticized you. You live an easy life full of respect. It's so complicated to understand. They have no leisure because they're always working hard. Is that correct? I agree with you. Perhaps I
have also been strict with myself. Under an ideal goal called the perfect personnel of the society. But of course, Zen's DVD
Take a look at Zen, for example.
is the ultimate truth like none other.
Doesn't he often flatter his own appearance?
It's good enough to be
젠 씨의
flattered.
DVD를 주문했습니다.
He keeps reminding those around him about his looks. Maybe he does that so people will keep telling him that he's good looking? I don't think he flatters himself. Yes. It is as if he requires constant confirmation. That's what I thought. To rid himself of his own suspicion that maybe he is not as handsome as he thinks.
That can't be. Zen is such a beautiful man. Don't you think that it's just one way for him to express himself?
I'm sure he knows the answer.
Jumin, are you sure that you don't feel insecure about anything at all? Then again, there's really no need for him to confirm whether he's good looking or not.
I think he's just trying to be funny. Right, you are. If he really knows that he's handsome, why can't he just live like me? I believe Yu-sung is right. Zen has a sense of insecurity deep down inside, and thus, there is an evil in him. All he has to do is bring that evil out.
I think only the strong people can survive in this world, they're good or bad. Perhaps a sense of insecurity is no different from a struggle to hide one's trauma.
I guess you could define it like that. And that must be why there are people who torment others, or themselves. Because they fear otherwise they'd be tormented and hurt.
But Mr. Han, though this is just my personal opinion, don't you think this sense of insecurity arises from innocence?
Innocence?
In most cases. It is almost impossible for best actors and best societal personnel to make their ideal situations real, unless they amended their faults. So if someone feels insecure, don't you think that deep down, that person harbors this innocent, pure passion that they want to excel in this world? You're right, even if someone feels insecure, that sense of insecurity can actually drive a person to work too much. It's better to have a sense of insecurity, but if you give up and do nothing, the loop of depression begins. You can't deny that this pressure that you must perfect your imperfections always leads to stress. It's better to have a sense of insecurity, but if you give up and do nothing, the loop of depression begins. You're right, even if someone feels insecure, that sense of insecurity can actually drive a person to work too much. Yeah?
Much harder. Oh, that one's bad, actually. Do you think such passion will make us happy? No, I shouldn't have chose that one.
You can't really dub their efforts pointless, however.
Values and rules are not timeless. I believe CNR, as of today, values the best and first place as its core idea, in my opinion, however. As a company is completed. Because there is not only a first place, but also a last.
I think it'd be so good if I don't have to be the best in my workplace. Don't companies always aim for the best?
And then you'd feel this daring urge to try something new. CNR, however, only aims for the best. Perhaps our company is a mirror of the modern world that promotes competition among people by nurturing their insecurity.
So you're saying that the best isn't everything, aren't you?
I am.
Then what determines whether a person is accomplished or not?
I think an accomplished person never gives up and keeps trying. I don't want to be accomplished. Stress is bound to follow a goal. I think that depends on your definition of accomplished, but whatever it is, the fact remains that no one is perfect. Right? You're right. I'd say we have more than 1,000,000 of answers, depending on your definition of accomplished. But once people see that good enough and not good enough are in fact one,
They are?
then they'd realize that there is really no point in suffering from their insecurity or tormenting their hearts for recognition. But maybe this world runs energetically because people want to win recognition. I'd like to live in a world where I can live quietly, a world where we don't have to try to win recognition. I'm having a hard time imagining it. A world where we don't have to try and win recognition? I mean, it'd be nice if it was a real thing, though.
Same here. I feel strange thinking about it.
And such realization would lead to utopia.
Utopia?
I'd like to found and operate CNR's Utopia team. Now I believe I've provided you enough details to include in the report.
Oh.
I look forward to the Utopia team. So, does this end with more work for you, Jaehee? I have a feeling this Utopia team will be lazy. Poor Jaehee.
I have a strange premonition that that'd be the case.
And now, I must complete this stitch. And I can see my house at the window.
Bye. It was complicated, but thanks anyways.
You're welcome. Now excuse me.
CNR Utopia team. I'm not sure if I really understood him. I think he wants to make a team that does not drive people into competition, but acknowledges each person as they... that's because he lives in a world completely different from ours? No. Each person as they are. Do you think we can actually accomplish profit-wise goals with a team like that? I'm not sure about this. This is tricky. So imperfection and perfection are melted into completion, and people are complemented into one without competition? Now this sounds like a world of dreams. Do you think a world like that would ever progress? I wish I could live in a world like that. However, I am left with this concern. That such world would have weak social protection system. His world is very utopian. But utopia team is one thing. Shouldn't he first consider an intelligence team? I just thought of something to take care of. Please tell me if you pick up anything new about the hacker, please. That means that you need to go now. I'll try. I'm having at least hundreds of thoughts, seeing how you're so worried about the hacker. But I'll save my thoughts for now, so Mila, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Please excuse me. Bye.
Alright. Alright. Let's get into this, shall we? The story mode that we might be a part of. Definitely a part of. They don't have to knock so loud. My god, they're gonna break the door.
영원한 낙원을 위하여 분실물 관리부서에서 나왔습니다.
I found this Ray who is lost. I'm returning him to you.
이 책갈피 혹시 당신 건가요? 손수 만든 책갈피인 것 같아서 주인을 찾고 있습니다.
Oh. It's the one V dropped back then. The name Seyoung is written on it. Yes, it's mine.
주인을 찾아서 정말 다행이군요. 꽃도 그렇고 이름도 그렇고 사연이 있어 보이더군요.
Geranium.
주인을 찾은 거라면 좋겠습니다. 그럼 이만?
Wait a minute, have you seen Ray? Have you heard anything about Ray yet?
아, 혹시 모르시는 겁니까? 레이님은 현재 정화에 의식 중이십니다.
What?
두 분이 같은 특수활동을 하고 있을 텐데 많이 놀라셨겠습니다. 정화가 끝나는 대로 다시 만나실 수 있을 겁니다. 민트 아이의 방식에 이번에는 잘 적응하셔야 할 텐데요. 구원자님께서 특별 대우를 해주시는 분이니 좋은 신도로 다시 태어나실 거라 믿습니다. 그럼 전 이만 영원한 낙원을 위하여.
I don't like that. Don't like that at all. Cleansing? Nope. Don't like that.
좋은 저녁.
Help!
그대도 좋은 저녁 시간을 보내고 있으면 좋겠군. 오늘은 기분 전환을 하고 싶어서 가벼운 스파클링 와인으로 한 잔 마시고 있었어. 아까 대화를 나누다 보니 내가 어린 시절에 받았던 신개념 경영 수업이 떠오르더군. 작은 섬에 떨어져 외부와 단절된 채로 아주 특별한 경영 수업을 받았었지. 미래의 경영자로서 자신의 단점을 자연스럽게 받아들이고 장점을 살리는 방법에 대한 체계적인 수업이었어. 그때 내 나이가 아마 6살이었을 거야. 아직도 그날의 수업 내용이 생생하게 기억나는군.
I don't think young Juman Han would have been an ordinary 6-year-old. You were 6 years old when you had such a complex class? That's weird.
뭐 남다른 점이 전혀 없다고 할 순 없지만 어떤 아이라도 그런 수업 환경을 조성해 주기만 한다면 비슷한 효과를 낼 수 있다고 생각해. 그렇게 교육받은 아이는 자격지심도 경쟁도 초월해서 자신의 장점을 객관화할 수 있게 되지. CNR 유토피아부의 지향점도 같아. 경영 자체를 초월하고 새로운 판에서 각자의 강점을 살리는 삶을 사업 목표로 삼을 거야. 소비자와 자라나는 미래 세대에게 내가 신개념 경영 수업에서 배운 사고방식을 전파하는 거지. 어때? 얘기하다 보니 훨씬 더 괜찮은 사업이라 생각되는군. 강 비서에게 내릴 구체적인 업무 지시 내용을 문서로 만들어 봐야겠어. 이만 끊도록 하지. 그럼.
I don't care about your utopia right now. I care about Mauray. Mauray is in trouble and in danger. Why aren't we running to his aid? I want to run to his aid. I want to help him. Next biography shall be about inferiority complex. Juman King off. Currently gaming. This is trip over. Back to going off the grid. Okay, well, I've seen these, so... Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode here for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos from me, then don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.